I just can't believe this.
We go out for a beer, but we never get near enough. We drink and we dance, you don't give it a chance, is it really right?
Welcome to our first stop, Zabriskie Point, and let me tell you, this one is an absolute must-see. Right off the bat, I can see how accessible it is. The pathway to the viewpoint is only a quarter-mile long and it's paved, so it's easy for almost anyone to enjoy the scenery. And the view, trust me, it's breathtaking, just wait. As I made my way up, I even found a painted rock at the first viewpoint. It was so cute, but I decided to leave it for someone else to find and take home. Even from this one spot, you get a taste of the incredible landscape. The wide variety of colors, earthy yellows, browns, blacks, and blues was definitely my favorite part. If you can, try to visit Zabriskie Point at sunrise or sunset. I can totally vouch for how stunning it is during these times. The light transforms the whole valley, offering a glimpse of all of the amazing things about this park. And if you're up for more, you can check out the hiking trails below, which lead you deeper into the Badlands. There's so much to explore here.
What if all of my love was yours? What if you were the one I chose? Would you throw me like dirty clothes? Or would we last forever? If you are not mine, I'm letting you go.
Here we are on our way to the visitor center, and I've already got my first surprise from the park. There's a resort here. I had no idea this even existed. I mean, when you think of Death Valley, you usually picture extreme heat, rugged landscapes, and well, not exactly luxury accommodations, but hey, here we are. Now, I'm not totally shocked yet. Stick around because I've got something even more surprising coming up. But seriously, let me know in the comments. Did you know this resort was here, or maybe you even stayed here? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Who was gonna tell me that there's a whole city in Death Valley with stores and Wi-Fi and cell phone reception and gas stations and houses? Reception. I believe that there's grass here. There's grass. There's water. There's lights. I was told there was no cell service here. I can't. My homework on this park. I thought I knew enough. I didn't even know this was a possibility. The nearest hotel outside of here is an hour away, and we got here late, so it was kind of a no-brainer to just do it. And there's a bunch of restaurants. There's a warm, spring-fed pool. It's great. It's just so cool. I'm like freaking out.
Because Death Valley is an accredited international dark sky park, we went stargazing, obviously saw some stars, and we saw a little friend here too. We then got dinner and went to bed. We drove all the way back to the Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes, which is actually where we were stargazing the night before. It is a pretty long drive from the visitor center and the ranch. We really wanted to see it during the day, and lucky for us, the elevation is so low that it's actually really easy to climb up these sand dunes and explore them. I thought that this part was fun, but if you've seen sand dunes before and you're limited on time, then you might just want to look at them and then go do something else. I really wanted to drink out of my liquid death bottle in Death Valley. That was very important to me. And this is just goofy. We thought that this was salt and we wanted to go look at it. It just is not salt. It's just like clay. But it was white, so you're like, oh my gosh, there's the salt. Wrong. And now the real question, is this genius or not? Because it was really easy to get the sand out of my shoe.
Wow.
But there was a lot in there. I don't know. Let me know.
Totally not.
Ow!
The desert takes no victims. Or takes no prisoners.
And now that that's over, we are at where the refinement of borax used to take place at Harmony Borax Works. It was only open for 5 years and closed in 1888. And this is a really large wagon that 20 mules used to pull to transport the borax. The mule teams pulled loads weighing up to 36 tons. It's kind of tough. And that right there, right behind the wagon, is the refinery itself, which you can go and walk up to and get a closer look at. Workers refine borax by separating the mineral from unwanted mud and salts, a simple but time-consuming process. And they did not do this in the summer because it was too hot outside. In October of 1849, a group of over 100 people, nicknamed the Lost 49ers, began toward the gold fields of Central California. Jefferson Hunt's wagon train faced delays, so some members tried to take a shortcut across the Mojave Desert. Hunt refused, but many went ahead to save 500 miles. At first, the journey went well, but soon they faced tough terrain and water shortages. One group looked for water in the mountains, while the Jayhawkers headed west. By December, both groups ended up in a valley with salt flats and mountains. The Jayhawkers were helped by a Native American and escaped, but the other group lost men to dehydration and exposure. The party split into smaller groups. Some went for help, and after over a month, the remaining women and children were rescued. As they headed into the Panamint Mountains, one person turned toward the valley and said, "Goodbye, Death Valley." That story gave me chills the first time I heard it, so that is actually how Death Valley got its name. We made it to Badwater Basin, which is the lowest point in all of North America, and it does look like there's snow on the ground, but it is actually salt. Alex is about to take this group's photo. They're super stoked to be here. Love to see it, and I'm just admiring this salty mud thing going on and this really still puddle, and like it's kind of ugly, but it's kind of so ugly that it's beautiful, you know, like pugs. And that little white sign right there is sea level. So we began our trek to the sunny part of the flats. It was pretty dang chilly in the shade. It was in the 50s. It looked a lot less like snow when we got to the sunny part, and I thought it would feel like snow too. It did not. It was very hard and compact. So not what I was expecting. And now that we're out here more in the middle of this valley, you can kind of get an idea of how those people who got lost out here felt. We're now headed to our very last stop for Death Valley before we're headed home back to Tucson. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit sad because this park was way cooler than I had anticipated. I enjoyed it so much and would love to come back in the spring when there are flowers in the valley. If you plan a trip here, be prepared. It is one of the biggest parks at about 3.4 million acres. So just plan accordingly. And welcome to Dante's View, our last stop. It is one of the highest points in the park, and we just came from the lowest point. This offers a really spectacular view of the salt flats and the valley and other mountains. Look at all that salt. And with that, we're gonna start heading down and going home, but not before we get lunch.
We go out for a beer, but we never get near enough. We drink and we dance, you don't give it a chance. Is it really romantic?